Hello guys and welcome to yet another YouTube video. My name is Mordred and today we're gonna do Mathmech deck theory and the deck profile. I've been using this deck for a long time, long time, and I have huge success with it. I've topped countless Master Duel tournaments with this deck. I've won countless of tournaments. It also got me to peak rank 27 during the Duelist Cup. So now we are approaching March Duelist Cup, and I wanted to present you with another deck option that you can choose because this game provides quick games, um, and it's very good overall in the meta, especially after Saronir got limited and Bestials are now out of use because Fire meta is approaching. So to start talking about Mathmech, we have to like determine what kind of deck Mathmech really is, and Mathmech has like very good turn one board and very good OTK paths for going second. It's also very good at like finishing games quickly. Boards are like almost unbreakable. It doesn't fall to any popular hand trap except for Maxi. However, it does fall to Called by the Graves sometimes, you know, multiple Called bys or like Called by plus Crow, but that's why we have the microcoder package, which we're gonna talk about later, and why I decided to play it. In this video, I'm gonna try to explain to you like what's the best way to play the deck, and why I think the way I build this deck is the best way to build Mathmech. We're gonna start with your hand trap lineup. This is gonna variate for every format, more or less. For example, in some formats you will not need double Nibiru, but I think that Nibiru is huge here, like especially against Snake Eyes. Even though they have ways to play around it, I still think that like just weakening the end board of certain decks can help you OTK very easily, because you don't really have hard time playing through the Snake Eyes board, but if you have some amount of disruption, it's gonna be very easy to get to your terahertz multiplication player or even access code jammer, which is like more rare nowadays, but it's still pretty good. So for this specific format, I chose to run double draw. And even though that super heavy is not as popular as it used to be, and draw and lockbird doesn't stop Mathmech, doesn't stop Snake Eyes, um, it still kind of weakens their end board. You know, it weakens the amount of disruption. They cannot draw formula. They cannot draw off wanted, which are all like can draw them like more disruption, basically. Which is why I think draw is good to slow them down just enough so you can OTK next turn, which is your primer goal. You do not want your duels to go into turn 3 usually. Or like you don't want, even if you go first and like the duel goes to turn 3, you want your opponent to have no disruption and for you to have a decent amount of follow-up. That's idealistic scenario for this deck. So double draw and lockbird, one crow, it's a very good crossout target. It's also like decent in this meta because you can banish IP and again weaken the board of Snake Eyes, and that way you provide yourself with like easier way into OTK, not having to deal with Appaloosa at all. Then we have obviously triple Maxi, triple Ash Blossom. You have to run this. You have to run Maxi because like there is no better way to stop your opponent turn one than to resolve Maxi, and also like there is no like better way to stop Maxi except for Ash crossouts and callbys, which is why you have to run 3 of these. This format I decided to run double Nibiru. As I explained earlier, it's very good against Snake Eyes. It's very good against a lot of decks that do not expect it, especially if you play with your toggles. Um, Especially if you play with your toggles, you know when to toggle on, when to toggle off, you can catch them by surprise and completely nuke their board and just proceed to OTK next turn with the jammer access, terahertz, um, or whatever way you choose. So for the next hand trap and the last, I'm playing 3 impermanence. Impermanence is pretty crazy. It helps you a lot against branded, especially going first, because normal summon Albaz does not beat you anymore, even if you don't get to your Signet conflict to negate that Albaz, which you'll have to do if it comes to that. You can just imperm Albaz and you can proceed playing your turn, and like they use their normal summon, they discarded 1 card, so it's a very good hand trap overall, especially this format, like to imperm Snake Eye Ash. Um, or like any other any other good target for imperm, and this format has a lot of them. So that's why I decided to play to play imperm. Now I'm gonna start with Mathmech engine. Mathmech engine, I'm trying to keep it minimal. What minimal means is that you play obviously 3 circular, like best card ever printed, and 5 other Mathmech names all at one. Diameter, because it's limited, you would usually want to run 2, but now since it's limited, you have to run 1. One multiplication for terahertz OTKs, one subtraction, extender, addition, extender, sigma, like very good with circular, it enables you to go full combo. And that's all from Mathmech names that I use. Now from Cyber's extenders that are very good, Dotscaper, 1 card terahertz, insane in like top decking situations. Like very good send of Signet mining because it grants you another body. Very good small world bridge. Very good send of terahertz when you don't get to Signet conflict, so you can make heat soul with your splash mage and Dotscaper. Very good. Microcoder engine consists of microcoder and Signet conflict. It's very good. You will usually have enough bodies. All you need is circular plus 1 special summon in hand, and you have access to Signet conflict, which is your Omni negate. Some people say it's like win more card, but I really don't think it is, because sometimes it's not, with the right hand it's not very hard to break Mathmech's board. Which is why I like to do this, and which is why my deck count right now is 42. This is my personal preference. You don't have to run this if you really don't want to, but like I noticed that it's much better when I run it, and it's like people say it's Brick going second, but those are really just 2 cards in your deck. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, really, unless you open like a conflict factorial, and like unplayable hand. For the next Cyber's extenders, we have Firewall Defensor, it's a 3-off, and Firewall Guardian, which is a 1-off. This is your like circular number 2. This is your second best normal summon in the deck after Diameter. It provides you with 3 bodies out of 1 card. It's pretty crazy. Like, it's also terahertz, so it's full Mathmech combo on its own, because after you splash mage, you get 2 level 4 bodies on board, and you can overlay for Lamplation, get your circular, and proceed from there. However, if you decide to go that line, you cannot end on Signet conflict, which is like another like maybe a reason not to play it. But as I said, I just feel confident on Signet conflict package, so I think it's very good. Next extender, Exceed. Now I used to run 3, but now I run 2 because of the new ban list, and like I'm trying to make this deck list compatible with the newest ban list that we received, which semi-limited Parallax Seed. Now I'm gonna take a moment to speak about like what does this do to Mathmech, and the answer is nothing. It's kind of awkward if you open both Small World and Exceed, and you have to use Exceed as a Small World bridge to Circular, because that means you don't get 2 bodies of Exceed. But it still doesn't matter. Even like just getting 1 body of Exceed sometimes is good. So you're gonna have so many bodies that you don't know what to do even with them. So you usually just want to you usually just need only 1 realistically. In cases you open double Exceed, that's another problem that you have to worry about. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Even the 2 is pretty good. Now that we are finished with the extenders, I'm gonna go to like spell card package. We have double Signet mining. You would play 3, but it's semi-limited for whatever reason. Like they're trying to hit consistency of Mathmech without hitting circular, but it just doesn't work for them. Double Signet mining, like great searcher, nothing more to say about it. Small World, very good. Now something that I never like really saw Mathmech player doing: when you open circular and Small World, what you usually wanna do, you want to lead with Small World, because it's less likely that your opponent is gonna maxi the Small World activation, because they usually wanna wait for you to activate circular. So you go ahead and search Ash instead. Like it's such a good interaction. It's such a good interaction, and I don't see enough people doing that. I've considered cutting this card to 2, but with Exceed going down to 2, I think having another way to search starters and stuff, maybe even hand traps, is just good. Now we have 1 talents. This is my personal preference because like you don't really care if you don't open talents, but holy if they ash you and you activate talents and check their hand, they are playing with 3 cards against your full board because like hand traps, as I said, don't do anything to this deck. It's also very good against Snake Eyes, but it's not good enough that I want to run more than 1. It's also like as a one-off, it's a cross-out target. Sometimes talents can be annoying when you're playing Mathmech, so that's another reason why I run it. Then we have obviously like cross-out call by, and we have super factorial, which is your main interruption during your opponent's turn. Now something that I wanted to talk about is Spirit Package. I've seen people play Spirit Package so often. Please do not play Spirit Package. It's so unnecessary. Like the only thing that you can do with Spirit Bodies is make Alan version or make Transcode. Like that's the only thing that you can do with Spirit Package, and you have to cut either on your Firewall engine, which is, as I said, amazing, or you have to cut on your on your hand traps, which is you don't want to do that, or you can to run both, but that's just too much. You're not going to see your hand traps often enough. Like this hand, for example, is a perfect Mathmech hand. Like it doesn't get much better than this. You don't really want to like this Ash to become a spirit. It's really unnecessary. It's absolutely unnecessary with the amount of consistency that this deck has. So Spirit Package is a no. You don't want to run it. It's bad. As long as Circular is 3, once they limit Circular, if it happens to like that they do it, you will consider running Spirit Package. And that's more or less about the main deck and about how you should craft this, or how you should build your main deck. One thing I want to say is like no matter what hand traps are, you usually aim to have 13 to 15 hand traps. If you want to cut Firewall engine, that's I guess fine. You can even jump to 20, but then you are endangering your consistency severely, which I don't recommend. And now I'm gonna go into extra deck. I'm gonna go card by card here. First we have Davis Worm. It's a monster to send on terahertz. You're never making this, obviously. It's a spell trap negate when you control terahertz. Very valuable piece of interruption on your opponent's board because spell cards are Mathmech's doom. You know, monsters not so much, but powerful spells, blowout spells, and stuff like that. You want to have a negate for that. You want to have a negate for call by, which is usually why you want this card in your extra deck. Now I'm gonna talk about other extra deck terahertz targets. You can run Aggregator. I chose not to because if you run Coder package, your first send is always gonna be Coder if you have enough bodies, and that means that the next send is gonna be this, and that makes Aggregator just kinda sitting there for no reason. And then we have Lamplation, card to make of Super Factorial. If you know this deck, it really doesn't need any explanation. Made with Diameter, it's an Omni Negate, and it also sends 3 cards, like making your opponent go -3 while you go +1 with Lamplation. And have an Omni Negate is just so valuable. It's so good. It's not even explainable how good that actually is. Alan version. This is your combo piece. You want this to search your diameter usually. You make it with Circular and Sigma, so Sigma doesn't get banished, which is why it's important to have this card. I've seen some people run 2. I think 1 is enough. Link Spider helps you play around Nibiru, which is popular in this format, which is why I decided to run it in main deck. Instead of Aggregator. This can also be second Lamplation, this can be Aggregator, but I think Link Spider is very good. Now, Salaman Great Almirage is your magician of the deck, because it turns any hand trap into Cyber's body. Normal summon any hand trap and you get this, so you can make your plays, because most of Link 2s and Link 3s except for Transcode Talker requires Cyber's bodies, and it turns your Resident Insect and your Spellcaster into one card Cyber's body. It also can trigger Parallax if you happen to open a hand with like, let's pretend that we didn't open like we just opened Exceed and Maxi. You can normal Maxi, make Almirage, and proceed to full combo. Almirage is very important, so is Linkuribo. Linkuribo turns any of your Cyber's monsters into a Link 1. You usually wanna use it when you link off your defensor, because it's the best Link 1 that you can waste. You don't really need this. You don't really want this to be your endward piece because it's prone to super poly with terahertz. So you usually want this to be your Link 1. Next, Decoder helps you to make, like, helps that like any two Cyber's bodies equal terahertz, or one dot scaper equals terahertz. Very good. Link 1, but it's actually two bodies. It's very good, or like overall. Next we have Update Jammer. I'm gonna pair it with Access Code Talker because they don't go without each other, but there is some cases when you want to make terahertz instead of access code. And the only reason I run double terahertz is that sometimes going second, if you suspect impermanence, you can make access code and then pop the enemy's field, and then you can go into terahertz from access code and extra bodies, so you have a clean OTK. It's also very good, like when you cannot, like when you open multiplication or something like that, you can go into Jammer access code and have a quick OTK with that. Jammer, just standard stuff. I think this card should be banned. Like Jammer access code shouldn't be a thing. But it is, and that's why we play it. Now, double Splash Mage is my personal preference. You usually want to run one Splash Mage. I run two because of grind game. Sometimes you're forced to use G-Golem turn 1. Sometimes, like, your opponent, when they see Splash Mage, they're gonna negate it. And, like, if they negate your G-Golem and you don't have a second Splash Mage, you usually cannot proceed with playing. But here you can bait some negates, or like impermanence or a monster negation with Splash Mage, then go one extender from your hand, link into G-Golem, link into Transcode, Transcode Reborn Splash Mage, bam, you have a Link 5, Link 6 on the field easily. That's why I decided to run two. Honorable mentions, like if you don't want to run second Splash Mage, you can run second Lamplation. You can run Aggregator, it's all up to you. G-Golem Crazy Addition from, I don't know which set it was, but it's Crazy Addition to the deck. It reborns Transcode Talker, it makes Hitsol plays better, it makes Terahertz OTKs better. It helps you OTK with Terahertz. OTK with Terahertz attacking defense position monster, because this boosts and gives double attack to Earth monsters, but the Terahertz gains the attributes of the card he sends. So he becomes Earth if you send multiplication, and or like any other Earth Cyber's monster that you have in your deck. So it can attack twice. It is gonna like go up to 6k. That's 12k damage, and even if you attack in defense position monster, it just quick OTK. Next, we have Transcode Talker. Don't need to talk about this. This is one crazy good card. Absolutely amazing. Really not much to talk about this one. It's just generic Cyber's Link 3. It's even generic Link 3, but it locks you into Cyber's monsters if you use its effect. Very good. Enables Terahertz. Enables like everything. Like I really don't want to spend too much time talking about it. Next thing, Hitsol. Like good thing and very important thing about Hitsol and Transcode, they are both Code Talker monsters. That means that if you use, you can use this from your hand to make any of these two, which was gonna search you either a Signet Mining or this or any Cyber's monster, as a matter of fact. Hitsol very good. It's usually your endboard piece alongside Terahertz. Draws you two cards, but like hopefully two hand traps to support your endboard. It's just a very solid card in general. Access Code Talker, we talked about it, and the card that I'm talking about this whole video about is Terahertz. Terahertz is just so amazing. I cannot even start to explain to you how good this card is. One card OTKs, creates interruptions, Makes your opponent life harder, can be protected by defensor in graveyard. Um, so yeah, overall very very good. Now that was all that I wanted to talk about in this video. This was just standard deck theory, deck building theory for Mathmech. If you want to see some combo guides and like OTK lines and stuff like that, let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to support me. We are live every day, also on Twitch, twitch.tv/mortedYGO. We are live every day playing huge amount of decks. We are playing every day, so come and join on Twitch as well. And yeah, that was all that I wanted to talk about in this video. Thank you for joining, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.